How do everyone? It is Liam back with a new video for me. This is a big old fucking collection update of Death, Thrash, Doom, everything in between, and it's all sent mostly some really awesome people. So hopefully you've heard of none of these bands. This will be a completely different video and you'll get all this new music. I'll shove links down the bottom, you can enjoy all that, and then yeah, the whole point of it is just to pimp these bands out and then hopefully you get something from it. So I've got a little stack here sent from my good friend Tolga over in Turkey. I got talking to Tolga maybe a year or two ago on Facebook because I'm a big fan of this Death Doom band that he is now in, or has been in since the probably the late 90s maybe. And they only put out a few albums, and he kindly sent me the ones I hadn't got in my collection. So first one, and this is a repress from 2023, but this came out back in 2012. Band formed in 95, so they had a few EPs prior to the full length coming out, and the band I'm talking about is Forgotten. So this is a Turkish doom band at this point, and then you'll see as we go. So this album here, this really surprised me because I'd never heard this album before Tolga sent it to me. So this is their actual debut from, what did I say, 2012 when this came out, and this is actually epic doom. So this is very much in the vein of Candlemass. Has power metal kind of tinges to it. It kind of reminded me a lot of Hammerfall and bands like that in a way, but it's doomy, very doomy, but very, very epic. Now I got into this band on their second album, which is much a doom death album, and they have pretty much stayed that way since. But this, when I first heard it, it's completely opposite. The vocals are very much clean, very epic, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it really threw me because at first I had no idea. I thought this was a new album because obviously it came out in 2023 as a repress, not realising it was the debut from back then. I want to say 2012, I keep forgetting that date. And yeah, it's fucking good, really, really good. Totally different, like I said, to their other stuff. And don't get me wrong, I much prefer the newer stuff just because that's what I'm into, that's what I know. But it was really cool to kind of hear how this band have dramatically changed and progressed, and you'll see on the next album I show you where they kind of are now. And I think most people that watch my videos will actually appreciate the latter ones. But if you like your doom, your traditional metal, that kind of thing, give this a go, because this is pretty much in that ballpark and it is very solid. So yeah, that's their debut. And the one I hadn't got, and I was dead after this came out in 2022. This is their full length called Returnless. Both of these and the second one have all been put out through Sleazy Rider Records, which I'll leave a link below, you can check them out. But this is the latest full length from this band. Like I said, they're a Turkish death doom band. What's cool about them is they have the singer, if you know the band Sermon, their album came out last year that loads of people loved. It's very much a Paradise Lost sounding band. The vocalist from that band is in this band on vocals, and he's got some superb gutturals on this. Really low end, really guttural, very heavy, very melodic, in the vein of I want to say like kind of a Hood and Menace to a point. Early My Dying Bride. It's that death doom where it's doom metal, it's epic in the riffs and the melodies, and it's got that guttural vocals in there to give it that heaviness to it. So yeah, massive thanks to Tolga for sending me these. But it's not only that, he also wanted me to check out his other band that he's in, which is actually a death thrash band. Now again, I don't normally show some thrash and death thrash on here, it's very rare I even buy anything like that. So when people send me this kind of thing, it's quite cool because it is a genre I kind of don't mess with much anymore these days. And he sent me two of the albums from this band. This band is called Trenchwar, again out of Turkey. This is the album Criminal Organizations. This came out in 2020, this one. This is the debut. So again, another Sleazy Rider Records release there. All these albums are from them. And this is solid, really solid, very thrashy. It's got the thrash beats, got the D beats in some parts, but it's mostly the thrash drum beats. It's very heavy on the vocals, very guttural again. And it also features Haran from Sermon, who I just mentioned, on vocals in this band as well, but doing the thrashier kind of style death metal. So that's really cool to hear. And yeah, it's just solid stuff. But what he really wanted me to check out was this is the new one for 2024 from the band, called From the Earth to the Moon, again through Sleazy Rider Records. This is a 2024 release, and Tolga wanted me to check this out. and it's solid. Again, really solid. I dropped the fucking booklet on the floor, my shitty cases I put them in. So as you can see here, Tolga is here. This is the guy who I'm friends with on Facebook. This is the singer from Sermon who I mentioned, because obviously that album was massive for me when that came out last year. That band, I think it was in my top 20 by memory. It was just solid, really good band, really good album. And yeah, and the vocals on here are killer, absolutely killer. Riffing is very good, production is solid. My only gripe with this album, and it's not really a criticism, it's just more why it was on there. There's a Led Zeppelin cover of Communication Breakdown, but it's done with the death metal vocals, but in a thrashy death metal style with like a big breakdown bit at the end of it. And it was like, did they need to have that on there? The music was solid enough without it. And it's not on the end either, it's just before the end. You can see there. And I know bands do covers. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a good cover now and again, but sometimes it takes away from the album for me, because then you think, why did they do that for? Because I didn't need to do that. And Trenchwar are solid without having to do a cover band song, you know, they don't need to do that. So, loving that. Go check that out. It's very, very riffy, very catchy, and if you love your death thrash, your thrash metal, you'll probably be into that as well. So I'll leave links below. A massive thank you to Tolga, you're the fucking man. Quality music, I've been listening to them for a good few weeks now. So yeah, now, if you're a long time viewer of my YouTube channel, you will know that I have some wonderful friends, and one of them is Valdemar out of Morbid Chapel Records. I'll put the logo there if I remember to do it. He always sends me every year a stack of his releases to check out, and as the years have gone on, they've got stronger and stronger and stronger, and this year's ones are phenomenal, especially if you're a death metal fan. They are on fucking form. These three I'm going to show you now are solid. I'll put the black metal ones in another video, because I normally used to do it all in one hit, but I feel like to get the viewers, I'll separate it up a bit more, because black metal people like to stick to their black metal, don't they? Majority of them anyway. So this first one is a band out of Hungary. This is a band I had no idea who they were, and they are solid, and it's one of my favourite album covers of this year. There is another one in this video towards the end, and this is the band Tomb Portal with their album what is called down there, put out through Morbid Chapel Records. This is some solid, murky, horrible death metal with a kind of chasmic, eerie feeling to it. It's fucking brilliant. So the band formed in 2022, and this is their debut full length for this year. And again, it was a band and no idea what it was. I kind of assumed it was black metal to start with when I put it on the player, not really knowing what I was going to get, and it is just some solid chasmic underground death metal. The Hungarians always do it really well, don't they? Because I can name a few off the top of my head, like Cryptworm. The guy from that is technically Hungarian, and there's a few more like I won't bore you with that. I'll be here all day trying to remember. But this is another one, just really solid, really heavy, really eerie and horrible, and I absolutely love that album artwork. It's fantastic. So yeah, Tomb Portal, that was a really cool surprise to me. I really like that one. And then it just continued on from there. Now this one again, just looked at the cover and I already knew I was going to like it. This is some doom death out of Costa Rica. I mean, I've got a few Costa Rican bands up there on cassette. They're all brilliant, you know, they're all brutally heavy, really horrible, eerie, and this is no different. This is Perishing with Lutum, or Lutum. This is, I believe, an EP for 2024, debut EP from this band. This band formed in 2023, so only been around a few minutes. And again, really solid, really heavy, really murky, really horrible. I mean, most of the Costa Rican bands that are coming out at the moment, in my collection anyway, they're all kind of doomy death, very murky underground death metal that it kind of sits to the point where it's just going to all fall apart, but it kind of holds itself together. It's very raw. And these guys are pummelingly heavy. Pummeling? That's not even a word, is it? Brutally heavy, we'll go with that. Really, really heavy, doomy death metal. That kind of echoey, horrible atmosphere. It's miserable, it's evil, and yeah, it's a fucking wicked release. And that cover, you know, you already know what you're going to get just looking at that, don't you? So I was well chuffed with that one. And then this one was the icing on the cake in regards to kind of the death metal side of things for me, because looking at the cover, I had no idea what it was. I was convinced again black metal, because Morbid Chapel Records puts a lot of black metal out, well, they did, but they're kind of moving towards the death metal more and more as the years go on, and this one is absolutely fantastic. So this is Mortal Embodiment with the album Unbound Emptiness. So this is an EP from 2023, so this is not a 2024 release, but late 2023. And what's cool about this, and I think it'll get a lot more people's attention, is this is the drummer, so this is a one-man project from the drummer of Fossilization out of Brazil, and a few other bands that he's in. So if you're a big fan of Fossilization, you'll love this, because it's not the same as Fossilization. It has that blueprint, that what they do, that kind of horrible chasmic death metal they do. But with this, it's got a bit more of a rawness to it, and so, not all the songs kind of sound the same in regards to tone. Like there's some tracks that sound a bit like Carcass at one point, and then it goes off into more chasmic, doomy death approach. You know, it really varies around the album, EP. Sorry, say 6-track EP. It's just fucking fantastic. I love it to bits. So good. See if I can open the fucking case up, because I've got cheap, nasty cases I put these in. But it's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. The chap's name, I didn't even write it down, but it's the guy from Fossilization. So if you've not checked it out, go check this out. I really recommend. I'm going to recommend all these, obviously, because otherwise I wouldn't show them. But this one was fantastic. So yeah, what's it called? Mortal Embodiment. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Now, a few cassettes as well. This is only going to be a small kind of collection update because I haven't done a video in ages. Again, and this one is a bloke that is probably one of the most prolific guitar players I know here in the UK. He's a proper gimp. It's just the way he can play anything on the guitar, and he's just so fucking talented. It really frustrates the fuck out of me. For people like me who's sitting here for about an hour trying to write a riff, and then by the end of it I throw it away because it's shit. But this geezer here just chucks music out, and it is Ghoul with the latest one called The House of Dead Flesh, put out through Dismal Fate Records. Really cool little label that is, in the underground scene. And as you guessed, it is all very much horror themed, as Ryan loves his horror films. He's a fucking nerd when it comes to horror films, I know that much. And yeah, this is fucking, again, just solid, very much in the vein of your early Cannibal Corpse, your Mortician, that kind of thing, but obviously not as intense as Mortician, but it is in that ballpark where there's the slasher flick influences in there. The sound bites are all kind of they're quite clever on this one actually, because he uses kind of sound bites of people talking about horror films from the cinema point of view, coming out of the cinema and that kind of thing, and news interviews with people talking about like Texas Chainsaw Massacre when it came out. So it was really clever, and I really liked that. It wasn't your generic, oh no, someone's dying, that kind of thing, being stabbed to death. It was different and it had a different vibe to it, and I liked that a lot. So yeah, go give this a go. Ghoul, both of these releases are solid. It's frustrating as hell, like 7 Doors, it's all sorts of shit he's in, and it's all talented stuff. So yeah, another solid one for the big man. Well done, mate. A couple more and then I'll leave you alone for the next video. So this one was one I, again, knew nothing about. I heard him talk about it in a chat that I'm in on Facebook with the kind of death metal scene in the Scotland kind of crew, with a few UK people, English people put in there. I know the Scots don't like to be called the UK, do they? So this is Gom Jabbar, and this is from the guitarist of Penny Coffin. So good old Joe out of Penny Coffin, he's a guitar player, does those really guttural vocals. I've got no idea what he's going on about. He does a lot of work on his own at home, playing guitar, programming drums and stuff like that, and he created this horrible beast, which I have no idea what it means, but it's obviously a phrase of some sort. I never researched it. But it's called Obsidian Black Carrion, and it was put out through the label Dawn of Merc, I think it's what that label was called, this year. So this is a 2024 release. Only 33 copies. And I'm loving the artwork, by the way, in this digipack. It is superb. Only thing I don't like though is the CDs in there. I fucking hate cases like that. But you take what you can get. But this is very murky, horrible, very esoteric kind of doomy death metal. It's very nasty. It's not nice. It's not pretty. It's not like kind of My Dying Bride style, where it's based on kind of epic riffs and that kind of thing. This is more using the kind of tones and kind of building an atmosphere to create this really nasty, eerie, horrible soundscape, but it's in the doom death kind of camp. You could maybe try and make some comparisons to Penny Coffin, because obviously Joe writes obviously a lot of riffs for that band, but Penny Coffin's more pummeling, relentless, unrelenting, something like that, kind of death metal. Whereas this, it has a lot of room to breathe, but it's horrible, it's eerie, but it all still has that kind of that penny coffin trait where it just fucking punches the shit out of you while you're down. It has that vibe in there as well, and this is fantastic. I don't know where you could actually pick this up from. I obviously got this from Joe directly. I believe it was the last one he had, and there's only 33 copies in the world, so I don't know if it's sold out or not. I'll leave a link below to the label that put it out. I know Joe obviously hasn't got any more. But yeah, if there isn't any, bully them to make it get repressed, because it's fantastic. It should be heard by loads more people than just 33. I mean, I think that's a ridiculous number to press, but I don't know how big the label is that's put it out. So there's no criticism of them, it's just I feel this music should be put out more broader, if that makes sense. So yeah, fucking loving that, that's fantastic. Now, I played a gig the other day in Norwich with a band that I had no idea how it would go, because we're very different in styles. My band is a death doom band, and they are a traditional doom band in the vein of your Black Sabbath, kind of Volume 4 / Never Say Die, that kind of vibe. But the theme of the band is frogs, and anyone who knows me in real life knows I'm petrified of frogs, and I'm not joking, I generally am petrified of frogs. I fucking hate frogs. And where I live near a lake not too far away, and I guarantee you every time it rains, at certain points of the year, they're fucking everywhere. My wife finds it hilarious, but anyway, yeah, I'll go on. But like, it was a big thing for me to play with this band, because obviously the band know, my band know I'm terrified of them, so they thought it was fucking hilarious. And I watched them, and I wanted to get this EP because it's a 2024 release. This is the band Froglord with Live by the Fuzz or Die by the Slime. This is a self-release from him. The lead singer, he's even on the cover there. There he is, with his minions here, frog people. Now, like I said, this is a traditional doom band, very fuzzy, very bouncy, very happy kind of style. But with this one, he's kind of progressed, because he's only been around a little while. I mean, they formed in 2020, and this is, I think it's already 3 or 4 full-length albums and a dozen EPs, and this is the latest EP. And with this one now, he's incorporated kind of black metal influences into it, and it's got a, it's definitely doom, but it has an eerie, horrible black metal edge to it in some of the tracks, which I really like. But again, it also has that very much that traditional Sabbath style. It's very fuzzy, it's very riffy. Tape looks like Kermit the Frog that just shut it out in that lovely colour of green. And this is 51 of 52 copies that I have here, all done by one chap by the name of, his name was Ben. Yeah, I can't remember, didn't write it down. But I know Ben has collaborated with a few other people on this to kind of give it a different kind of texture to what he would normally do on his own. And it's also got a load of live tracks on there. I'll give you an idea what the songs are called, like Beneath a Swamp, Amphibian Ascending, The Mystic Toad, and you get the idea. It's all frog related, which is wonderful, isn't it? I love frogs, not. So yeah, go and give them a go. I strongly recommend them. They're a fantastic live band, lovely bunch of lads. I had no idea who they even were. I've been speaking to him for months, I didn't know, because he wears a fucking mask, I didn't even know who he looked like. So it was nice to actually see the real person and not a frog man when we gigged together. So yeah, go give Froglord a whirl. They are a really cool band. So there you go. And the last one, more of my wheelhouse now, is a band that has been pimped out all over YouTube, mostly in the UK by the looks of it, because I know a lot of people I know who are friends of friends have got hold of this CD, and that's how it works. You know, you spread the word, and that's what I'm going to do to you guys now. I'm spreading the word, so you go check it out, you support this band like all these other bands. It's the whole point of it, right? So this is Daisy Cutter, self-titled album for this year. I believe this is the debut full length for this year as well from this band, formed in 2014, which is just shocking considering it's taken them that long to get off their arse and record an album. But then I don't know if it's just a one-man project and he's added band members to it. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you, this is some HM2 war-themed death metal. Nothing new there, as you would probably think, hearing that term. You think, oh, okay, there's a bazillion bands that do that. But what I will say is very concise, it's very to the point, it's a very well written album, and don't fuck about. It is literally, you get in, you get out, you get what you want out of it. And I will say as well, this is one of my favourite covers of the year again, this one here, because it reminded me a lot of the what the fuck are they called, Jungle Rock, that album cover with the guy sitting in the piranhas with the blood all coming out and the corpse. It had that vibe to it. Obviously, it's nothing like it, but I love that cover. And this one a little bit reminded me of that. And I just love skulls, so you know, I was easily won over when I saw it. Inside looks like that. Old dude's face being melted off by the old napalm there. CD looks wicked as well. And yeah, like I said, it's HM2 driven death metal, so you've got your chainsaw guitars, it's war themed, again, been done 100 times before, but when they do it right and the band does it solidly, and again, this is a self-release as well, which is quite shocking. I thought a label would have jumped on this, because it is very well written, it's a very well produced album as well. It's not like a bedroom recording kind of thing, it's fucking solid work. So yeah, I will leave a link below to the Bandcamp where you can grab this from. It's fucking awesome, and I know why other people are now going mental about it, especially on the YouTube scene here, with other nerds that talk about their music like I do. They're all loving it. So yeah, Daisy Cutter, that was a fantastic album. So cheers, Big Dill, for sorting me out with that. You know who you are. Everyone knows who Dylan is, yeah? So yeah, that is it. That's another video for me. So I will say a massive thank you to everyone who recently subbed my channel. Doing that black metal one with the naughty album covers, I managed to amass over 50 new subscribers from doing one fucking video showing a bloke who was dead, and some controversial bands that aren't really controversial to me, in my world anyway. So that was really cool. So hopefully those new subscribers see this. They're not just into the extreme black metal stuff, they want to see other styles of extreme metal. So you've got your Doom, your Death here, so you can go check it out. Like I say, all these bands I show, I always think they're quality. I don't just show them because I have to, you know, I don't have to. I do this for fun, you know, when I can. And, you know, I'm not even dressed up for the occasion. I'm still wearing my footy shirt from earlier. And I look fucking old as fuck today with grey hair with the lights. So, yeah. Anyway, cheers to you all. I'll speak to you guys in the comment section. Cheers.